All right, welcome back to Street PX for our interim episode. And it's that time of year again where we're going to be sitting down with the man, the one, the only Ken Walton, originator of StreetFoto out here in San Francisco. How's it going, buddy?
Good, Casper. How are you?
I'm doing good. And since we like to be involved in all things street photography, and we're in the Bay Area, we thought it'd be a good time to sit down and find out what is happening with StreetFoto this year.
Yes. Well, happy to talk about it. It's that time of year again. The busiest time of the year for me.
Yeah. The most stressful too, right?
Yeah. A lot of stress.
Put a little bit of reality out there.
But a lot of moving parts, but it's coming together, and I appreciate the help of you and everyone else who's been pitching in this year. We got a good lineup. Heading that up is Jeff Mermelstein.
Yes.
And I'm really excited about that because it's not easy to get Jeff out of New York City. That's where he wants to be. He shoots literally every day still. Jeff is an active shooter. And a lot of these other festival guests we've had tend to be the type who go to a lot of things. You know, you can see him around the world often at festivals, right, events, and things like that. But
so you pulled him out of his comfort zone, huh?
Yeah, Jeff, he teaches in New York at the International Center for Photography at ICP out there. He has a class that he's taught for years, but he doesn't tend to do workshops outside of New York, and you're not gonna get many chances to see him outside of his home turf. So we're really happy to be bringing him out here.
Yeah, I definitely urge people, if you get a chance to speak with him, even on the side, do so. But more importantly, his workshop is, we still got a couple of seats left, right?
There's a few seats left. Yeah, it's getting closer to full, but there are a few seats left in that. So I would jump on them soon. May 15th is the early bird deadline. You get a good discount if you sign up before then. Yeah.
And what happens every time when it comes to an event, all the signups happen like in one big wave right at the end. So don't wait. Don't wait, people. You have to get in there and get a seat before they're all gone.
Right.
But it's not just Mermelstein, though. We got some other ones going on, workshops, right?
Yeah, like years past, we're doing 4 workshops, and I'll go through them. We've got 2 members of the Burn My Eye Collective. We've got TC Lin and Andy Kochanowski coming in. TC is an American who he was an American.
He's I was going to say, we had an interview with him. He ain't American anymore.
He's now Taiwanese. Yes, the Street PX community will be familiar with him from that interview. And he was actually here visiting at the first StreetFoto back in 2016. He's a friend of the festival, coming in from Taiwan. And we've also got Andy Kochanowski, longtime street photographer out of Detroit. Yeah. And super talented guys. They actually taught a workshop together not too long ago in Taipei, I believe.
Oh, really?
So they have some experience teaching together. They're both really smart, really knowledgeable guys with great bodies of work, each of them. And we're looking forward to getting them together here at the festival. That's our early workshop. It actually starts Sunday, the day before the festival officially starts. So if you just come in a day early, you can get in on that.
There you go.
It starts. It's 3 days. It's Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. So that's the 3rd, 4th, and 5th of June. And unlike a lot of 3-day workshops, that's going to be 3 full days.
Okay.
So you're actually going to get more out of them in terms of classroom time and shooting. They are going to shoot with students on the street.
So that is going to be kind of like Vinit's last year, where it started at kind of a day early.
Yeah, he had his hit his like the full weekend before. Yeah, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So this overlaps with the festival a little better.
See, people, there's so much going on that he can't even keep it in the 7 days the thing's scheduled for it.
I don't know if we're going to go to 10 ever, but
hell with it. Just make it Street Month.
Yeah. No one else. Yeah, Street Month. That'll be it. We're also offering a special on that one because you can take that workshop and then actually sign up for any of the others, including Mermelstein's or the workshops on the following weekend. You'll get an additional $75 off the second workshop you sign up for.
Oh, yeah. So the schedule would actually work out for that.
Right.
So
we have one student already who has signed up for that one and then another one.
Oh, that's good. Because I remember, I think either last year's or year before, because of the way the schedules were, there were students that double signed. They signed up for a couple. But I think with Richard Bram's class, 2 of the students had to leave like a day or 2 early because of the overlap.
Yeah.
So that's going to be a benefit.
We've had that happen before where people really wanted to take 2 of the different workshops and they ended up skipping out on the last day to go to the other one. And That's not that great because a lot of times if you miss one day of a workshop, you're missing quite a bit, maybe the critique day. So you want to be able to sit through the entire process.
Yep. And then our friends from Full Frontal.
We've got Full Frontal Flash coming into San Francisco in mass this year. 6 people in that collective. If you're not familiar with Full Frontal, they're an international collective. Well, you've had Michelle. Michelle was on the podcast recently.
Yep.
So this is it's a great group of street photographers from around the globe who use Flash, and they've decided to try to pass on that knowledge in a distilled 3-day street photography workshop that's June 8th, 9th, and 10th. So we've got Michelle Groskopf coming up from Los Angeles. We've got Johan Hjelbo coming all the way in from Malmo, Sweden. And we've got Ben Helton, who lives in Georgia, U.S., and then we've got Connor Barry all the way from London coming over.
That's a varied collective. That's all over the damn place.
They're all over the place. So those are the 4 main instructors, and then we've got Tyler Simpson and Skyed Wang coming down from British Columbia. We're calling them special guests. They may sit through the whole workshop with the students, or they may decide to just help out with on the street shooting.
Yeah,
because they're assuming that people who are learning to use a flash on the street for the first time are not. They're maybe going to need a little more hand holding than regular. It's tricky out there.
It is hard, man.
The settings. When I went shooting with Tyler and Skyed up in Vancouver, I mean, they had to walk me through, where to set my ISO and all that stuff.
It's a whole different layer of understanding. I mean, there's always that conversation about, working with layers and echoes, and then you add color, and now you're adding a flash into it. Yeah. It's a whole different ballgame. And the fear factor.
It's true, yeah. And I'll say this, to those of you who might be sort of curious, flash curious, we'll call you. If you're flash curious, don't be afraid of using it, and don't be afraid of the technical aspects of it, because they are there to walk you through it, hold your hand the whole way. And for those who may be afraid of using flash on the street, there's a lot of different ways you can do it. It doesn't involve just jumping out in front of somebody and taking a strobe light and hitting them right in the face really close.
And you don't even have to, it's not even always using strobes. There's a lot lower powered flashes that some of these people use just to do fill light.
Right. And there's, Michelle shoots flash during the day most of the time. This is a technique that you see Martin Parr using with great success. Gildan uses flash during the day. You can use it to create a really different and distinctive look during daytime photography as well.
Yeah.
And, a lot of the work, like for instance, that you see Michelle doing, she's not surprising people. She does a lot of street portraiture that's really distinctive and striking. So, if you're having some apprehension about the idea of using flash on the street, but you're curious about it, take the workshop and you'd be surprised at all the different ways you can use it to enhance your experience. A lot of these people, Michelle, because she's from Los Angeles, but a lot of people use flash. They got into it because it's so dark where they live.
Yeah.
Guys from Scotland, like the Bragdon brothers, and then, Tyler and Skyed up in Vancouver.
Is it usually darker in Scotland?
Yeah, Scotland's always cloudy, I've heard.
And then you got foggy London town. But just step outside your comfort zones, folks. I mean, Mermelstein's jumping out of New York, so maybe it's worth us to pick up a freaking flash every once in a while.
Yeah, give that one a try. There's still seats available for that, and it's a super lineup of just all of them are really nice people and very very talented photographers.
And then we have our fellow podcaster, Ibarionex.
Yes, Ibarionex Perello, the well-known. He's from the Candid Frame podcast.
Yes.
Been doing this for years. He's spoken to pretty much everyone in the business, except for Jeff Mermelstein.
He's never had Mermelstein on?
No, he hasn't. So he's hoping to run into him at the festival. We'll see. But Ibarionex is coming up. He's doing a 2-day workshop.
Just as an aside, not if StreetPX gets there first. It's on Candid Frame.
StreetFoto officially takes a neutral stance to all street photography podcasts.
Good answer.
He's running a 2-day workshop that he's taught many times, and he's really got his format down. If you are familiar with his show, you know his breadth of knowledge of street photography.
It's huge.
He's obviously he has a scholarly approach to the craft, and you're going to get that professorial treatment from him. And he's just very patient and understanding. This is going to be a good class for beginners and advanced students alike. It's 2 days, so it's the briefest one. So if you want to come in just for the weekend, you'll be able to take that one. Or if you want to stay a few more days, you can kind of have a little bit more leisure time and take the Ibarionex Perello workshop on Saturday and Sunday.
And I definitely like to say I highly recommend this one as well, because I've been a listener of Candid Frame for a long time. It's a big inspiration for a lot of what we do, when it comes to sitting down with photographers and stuff. And if you think about it, the fact that Ibarionex has been talking with people, I joke and laugh about the Street PXV Candid Frame thing, but to be honest, I think they're they're in the hundreds of episodes. They have spoken with hundreds of photographers from around the world, and you extrapolate that on what he has soaked in from all of these artists and learned from them in talking with them. He is a true well of knowledge. So
yeah, and he's going to give that to you in that 2-day workshop. It's a classic format of introduction, and then on the street shooting, followed by review, and then intense critique at the end of the workshop.
Yeah. And then gallery events. This is one of my favorite parts.
Yeah. So one thing we do at StreetFoto, we try to get as much photography on the walls as we can. And so at Harvey Milk Photo Center, as we always have, we have the finalists, so the International Street Photography Awards. We've got 5 categories this year. We got the classic single image contest. We've got the series contest for a series of 3 to 9 images. We have our mobile contest for street photography shot on mobile devices. And then, as we did last year, we have the Streets of San Francisco contest, which is open to all photos taken within the city limits here. And we have a brand new contest this year for analog shooters.
Oh, for the film guys out there, film guys and girls out there.
So if you shoot film, get your best shots into that contest. So the finalists in all of those are going to be exhibited at Harvey Milk Photo Center. And we'll have a few other larger shots up there by some of our judges, as we did last year. And then we have several other exhibitions going on around town. We're using PhotoWorks again. And that is a show that we, at the time of this recording, we haven't announced that yet, but we've got the San Francisco Photography Club. They go by SFCPC. You can find them on Instagram at SFCPC. It's a great group of local photographers. I think it's about a dozen. I don't have a list in front of me, but it's Troy Holden and David Root and Abdullah Shakar, like a bunch of guys. I'm not going to remember all their names right now off the top of my head, but they're going to have a great show that they're putting together. Every single person in the collective, in that club, is going to be having work on the walls at San Francisco PhotoWorks. And that's going to be going up. It's up all week long. And as of today, I don't yet have the day for the reception, but it's going to be sometime early to midweek.
Well, we broke into the house a little early, so a lot of this stuff is still being fleshed out.
At PhotoWorks last year, we did a show with Troy Holden, Matt Weber, and Aaron Berger, and the place was packed.
Yeah.
I mean, there must have been over 100 people coming in and out over the course of the night, and it's not that big. So that was a fun show. And we've also got one of the rooms at SF Camera Work, a great photography gallery with a rich history. And we're working on a show there that I can't announce yet because we don't have the final lineup complete on that. But that's going to be another good one. We had Stephen Bowman and Blake Andrews there last year for that show, and it was a good one.
That was a great event. Yeah. And the space is amazing at Camera Work. I just had to repeat that because it is a beautiful space.
Yeah.
Wide walls.
It's a gorgeous gallery.
So the people have to wait on that one, huh?
Yeah. And speaking of gorgeous galleries, though, we've got the Leica Store SF participating this year, which is one of the best places to see photography. It's got a super gallery within it. It's a big space. And Alex Ramos over there is curating a show called, it's based on the Bystander book, the new edition that just came out. That's Joel Meyerowitz's and Colin Westerbrook's history of street photography. They're curating a show there with a bunch of photos by people who were featured in the book. So they're going to fill the store, and it's stuff from throughout the history of street photography, including contemporary. So
that's going to be awesome.
Yeah, it's going to be a super show. We don't have the opening date for that either. It's going to be open all week, though. It is opening on the Monday of StreetFoto on June 4th, and I think the reception is going to be either Wednesday or Thursday. I don't have the final answer on that yet.
Right on.
So those are the main shows we have this year.
And just as an aside, if you can't make the opening, that's okay, because all of this is going to be running throughout the entire festival.
Right. All these shows I've mentioned will be open to the public from Monday onward, all 7 days. Yeah.
Yep. And the key word, the main buzzword I want to throw out here is it's that F word, that 4-letter F word, free.
Yes.
Free gallery event. There's no cover charge to get in, I'm assuming?
Yeah, everything we've done at StreetFoto up to now, except for obviously the workshops or the portfolio reviews, has been free. And we're committed to keeping it that way. We did try to sell tickets to an event first year, and it just turned out to be more of a hassle. And,
you learn as it goes. That's what makes StreetFoto that much better every year.
I mean, what I wanted to do with this is be able to fund the festival from the support of some sponsorship, but primarily from the support of the people who enter the contest. So when you enter the contest, you have to pay an entry fee. That money is what allows us to make all these prints and buy these frames and arrange all these deals and have people hang art and have all these venues open all week long with stuff.
And here's a key difference too, is many of you out there, you may notice there's always contests and competitions going on online. And I'm not going to say any names, but most of the time you send it out, you'll get, a notification saying you're a finalist, and that's about it. It'll, be featured somewhere, and there's not a festival attached to it. What you're getting with this is an entire 7-day festival of activities from the gallery shows that we're talking about, and some more things, because we ain't even halfway done yet with all the shit that's going on. But that's what all of this money goes to, and it's all the support of photographers from around the world and appreciators, because some of the people that come here aren't even photographers. I've noticed that, just people that appreciate the craft.
Oh yeah, we got street photographers who come in from all over the place, and it seems like we're getting even more of that this year. And then just a lot of local people who are kind of into the art scene or into photography, come and see the stuff, come and see the work, go to some of the lectures. We had, I think, around 220 or so people come to the Bruce Gilden lecture last year, for instance.
Yeah, at minimum.
Yeah.
That was an interesting night.
Yeah, it was.
You think we'll have any slideshow issues this year?
Well, we learned some lessons last year, didn't we?
No shit. I just remember looking over at the sound guy who thought it looked like he was about to wet himself.
Yeah. No, I think we should go with the same setup as last year, actually.
Yeah, same projector.
I'm going to buy a new projector for the festival this year, I think, actually.
Oh, you hear that, people?
A roving projector.
Things really are learning and changing.
Yeah. And speaking of, we were just talking about the exhibitions.
Yeah.
And I'm just reminded of something we didn't talk about before the show, but last year we had a slideshow put together by Chris Voss of New York City. He put together a slideshow that was about 30 minutes that we projected outdoors on Market Street.
Oh, I remember that. That was awesome.
And Chris is not able to make it out to StreetFoto this year, but he's making a slideshow for it.
Good.
So we're going to do the same thing, and he'll be there in spirit. We'll probably live stream it for him. And we're gonna have another great show. It just features a ton of New York and San Francisco photographers. It's a very raw and gritty, a lot of film work.
I think my favorite thing was seeing everybody's expression they didn't know what the hell was going on.
Right.
And they just walk in front of us, but we just kept telling them, keep going through.
Yeah. No, it's cool. It's very guerrilla. You play music during the thing, you have it projected onto a blank wall on a sidewalk downtown. So you have people walking by, you get street photography on the wall, and then you've got the actual, street scene occurring in front of it.
There was, it started with only a handful of people, but within that half hour or so, or however long it was a massive crowd on that sidewalk.
That was fun.
Yeah, that was a great idea.
We're going to do that again, maybe in a very similar spot.
Are you guys doing the cage match again?
We are doing cage match again.
Sweet.
That was fun last year. We had a great turnout for that, and some robust debate among the judges. So I haven't talked to Jeff about this, but I'm hoping he'll participate in that. Michelle Groskopf was on it last year. I'm not sure if she'll want to do it again, or if we want to mix it up with some different judges. But we'll have a good panel, 3 or 4 judges. And we'll be announcing this before long on the blog and on Facebook, and people can just send in some photos. Yeah. And we do an instant critique. The judges will rate each photo between 1 and 5.
Does it cost anything to submit these for?
No. This is free also.
I'm loving that word.
And then there'll be a prize. I think we're going to give away a new copy of Bystander to the winner this year.
That'll work. Yeah. Hell yeah. All right, it's promo time, and we're going to give a proud shout out to our sponsor, Glass Key Photo, the Bay Area standard for all things analog. Now, whether you're looking for camera repairs, a new film camera, lenses, film, or even some kick-ass zines created by local photographers, this is the place to find them. Located at 1230 Sutter Street, just off Van Ness, Glass Key is open 7 days a week from 12 to 6 and managed by Gordon and Matt, 2 of the most knowledgeable film buffs we know. Now, beyond the basics, they're also a staple within the photographic community, offering annual instant photo walks, zine fests, gallery wall space for exhibitions, meeting facilities, and so much more. You'll be doing yourself a disservice as a photographer if you miss out on at least one visit to Glass Key Photo. So head on down and give a big hello from all of us here at Street PX. But now with Cage Match, does that actually cost anything? Is that free to submit to?
Yes, that's free, of course, to submit to as well. Yeah.
Awesome. And is there a limitation as far as, do you know how many images they usually get through? Or is it just time frame?
It's just, I think we had maybe 20 on queue last year. Mm-hmm. And we got through not that many. I think we got through about 15.
Yeah. But the extent of feedback that you're going to get, it's not all, just bear warning, folks, not all pats on the back and rub your head, good job kind of stuff. This is legitimate feedback from seasoned veterans of street photography. This is a great opportunity to get that for free.
Yeah, it is. I mean, you've got a panel up there of people who've never seen your photo before. You've got an audience who, well, they may have seen it online perhaps, but they don't know what's coming up. And suddenly this thing pops up. The judges are all going to look at it, and each of them is going to say in turn what he or she thinks of it, and then give it a score between 1 and 5.
Oh, sweet. The Olympic scoring.
Yeah. I mean, last year was crazy. I mean, there were some photos that, in the opinion of a lot of people, were pretty good, that Bruce Gilden didn't think much of, I guess, right?
Yes. Yeah. I remember witnessing that. Also, it was a lot of fun being near some of the artists whose work was up there being critiqued in real time and seeing their reactions and talking to them afterward too. That was actually very eye-opening because when I spoke to them after they had went through the battle, so to speak, the cage match, they saw a lot in their image that they didn't see before. It really does kind of create a third eye for you to jump to get outside your own box. 6
of them quit photography, and there was only 1 suicide. So
Golden Gate, that's why they built that fence out there, because of street photo.
No, everybody was okay. It's okay to get a rough opinion now.
It is, and it's not Bruce this time, so he won't be stabbing anybody in the face.
So Cage Match is probably going to be Friday, June 9th, I'm thinking.
That's awesome. That's one of my I was so happy to...
Sorry, June 8th.
June 8th?
Yeah, June 8th.
Okay, because calendars and all that. Yeah. Well, actually, as an aside, that's actually a good moment to bring up. The website, streetphoto.org, actually is going to have a calendar of events on the site. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I believe there's going to be a handout too, just a single page handout printable item that you can print right from there, PDF, throw it in your pocket and stick with us.
Yeah, streetphoto.org, StreetFoto.
Yes.
Just remember StreetFoto.
Yes.
.org. And you'll find us, and there's scheduling on there. And we're still filling that out. Not everything's on it yet, but it's it's coming.
Yeah. Well, you guys have plenty to work with. So. But now, beyond just a cage match, speakers, because, I mean, you're going to put these people to work beyond just teaching, right?
Right. So the keynote speaker this year is going to be Jeff Mermelstein, as we've done in the past. The one who teaches the big workshop also gives the Saturday night keynote. That's right next to the awards ceremony. So it's the big night. We're also going to have Michelle Grosskopf give a lecture and slideshow. And we're looking forward to that. She just released her monograph called Sentimental. She's just wrapping up a pretty big show down in LA as well. She's got an exhibition down there. I'm not remembering the venue right now, but look it up if you're down there and try to get in before this weekend.
Yeah, we'll throw a link in the show notes on that.
Yeah. And who else are we having? We've got Anya Klausek from Poland is scheduled to come over. Still waiting for her to get her tickets, but
fingers crossed that she can breach the American wall.
Yeah,
apparently.
she was a member of Unposed, and she's a fantastic photographer. And we've got Fadi Bukaram from Lebanon is going to be coming over. He's well known recently for that Lebanon USA project that he's been working on.
That is fascinating.
It's amazing. Yeah, he rented an RV, a recreational vehicle. You call it a caravan in the UK or whatever they call it. But he slept in his car, basically, this thing, and drove around the United States for a good solid 2.5, 3 months, I think.
At minimum, yeah.
With the goal of visiting every town named Lebanon in the U.S. And I think he made it. At one point, he got his RV got broken into or stolen. Actually, got stolen.
The whole RV got stolen
toward the end. Yeah.
Oh, that's fucked.
And this was in I think New Mexico or Arizona, and it literally was turned into a meth lab or something like that. I don't have the whole story. He'll talk about this though. Come to StreetFoto and you can hear the story.
So he got like busted in on by Walter White.
Yeah, it was recovered a few days later, and there was a bunch of. He's got amazing stories about this trip.
Oh, okay.
So he did this, and he's actually
insane.
coming back for a part 2. He's gonna follow up on his work, and on his way back to make the rest of this project, he is stopping at StreetFoto, and he's going to tell us all about it.
Yeah.
So we're looking forward to having him. Who else do I have this year?
As far as the speakers, that's the main ones, and then you never know. There's other people that could kind of pop up along the way. Is that right?
We're in the process of confirming several others that we just haven't.
But that's schedules. That's
nailed down,
visas. That's all kinds of different things.
Every night of the week between June 4th and June 10th, there's going to be a gallery opening with food and drinks and great art and a bunch of good company and probably somebody talking. And then on the nights when there's not a gallery opening, there's going to be at least 2 lectures at Harvey Milk Photo Center. And
no, you said it well just then. Company. There's so many photographers coming from so many points of the earth, all to this one place for 7 days. So even if you're not wanting to do any workshops or anything, and you want to come and just network,
so it's a great time to be here if you're a street photographer.
Yes,
you're bound to know someone if you're at all involved in the online communities where we share our work. You're going to run into somebody And I should say too, you don't have to come for the whole 7 days. The event is 7 days, and some people are here that long. The things earlier in the week tend to be a little bit more local because those are people who are close. The weekend events are the biggest. And that's when we have a couple of workshops going on, and we've got, the awards ceremony, and Jeff is speaking, and Michelle is speaking, and we've got the kind of bigger talks over the weekend. So if you wanted to just come in for the 8th, 9th, 10th kind of a thing, it's another way to visit the festival and take part in it.
Yeah, you don't have to camp out the whole 7 days.
Right. And if you just come in for the weekend, then you can buzz around. You can see the various gallery shows because they'll be all open.
Yeah.
And you could do a tour of those in a few hours.
And if you're on the streets, chances are you're going to see roving gangs of street photographers at all points of San Francisco too.
Because as we've done in the past, we're doing free photo walks every single day, thanks to Casper and your small army of volunteers who are leading this thing.
That's our San Francisco crew.
Every day of the week, and I think there's a couple of days we might even do 2. We have local volunteers, real street photographers who are leading people through some of the best places to shoot in town.
And they know these areas well.
Yeah, this is where we all shoot, right? So we've got Market Street, We've got
Mission, Chinatown, Financial District. I mean, we might even have a couple of new places to bring people.
Right.
So, I mean, there's a lot of places to go. But the key point to take away is that these are local street photographers to San Francisco who are going to take you down through their haunts, their alleys, and their ways, and show you exactly the best practices when it comes to shooting the Bay Area.
Yeah, and you know, one of the nice things about these photo walks, and I've been on a couple, it's not always the easiest time to shoot when you're walking with 8 or 10 other people, all in a big gang, and you've all got your discrete street photography cameras. It's obvious, right, what you're doing. But these are great times you can get to know an area and then come back and shoot it alone later by yourself.
Exactly.
And when you're on these walks, that's when you meet people. So if you come here and you really don't think you know anybody, you're going to make a friend on one of these walks, just walking around. It's kind of like taking a workshop or anything else. It's a bonding experience walking around. We all share this passion that most people completely don't get. Don't even understand why we would want to do this.
It's community driven.
We all love it so much. And so when you get together with somebody, you may have nothing else in common, but if you shoot street, you've got that, and you share this passion, and you're going to be there with a bunch of other people who do this, and it's fun.
You may not even shoot at all. Honestly, I've seen some people come just for the company and just to meet other photographers and do exactly what you said. I'm glad you brought that up. It's a perfect way to get an idea of a location, of a path that photographer walks, and then wait an hour, come back afterward and hit it again, or sometime later during the festival. And, when you don't have 18 other people around you. Yeah. Because that's the hardest thing. And there's always rules, obviously. Not everybody shoot the same person with the wild hat.
Yeah. And, no mobbing anyone with
no
with a wild hat.
And these are all free, and the registrations will be available there on the same website, streetphoto.org.
These are free. We do ask you to sign up because we don't want them to get too crowded.
Yeah.
And in the past, we've had some problems. I think the first year, some of them literally had 25 people or something like that, right? It was just too big.
It got a little too crazy. Plus, we also need your contact so we can send you the meetup, because that kind of thing, that can change depending on weather, depending on what day of the week it is. There's a lot of factors that go into play, so please register.
Yeah, I'm going to try to lead the Sunday one again this year. I've been to it the last couple of years.
Golden Gate Park.
That's a fun one. We start by the museums in Golden Gate Park. We walk through the park on Sunday when the streets are closed to traffic, so there's a ton of people biking.
The dancers.
You got free swing dance lessons that we walk by. That's fun to shoot. Then we got the roller disco crew just down the block. That's always fun to shoot. We're walking past some kind of famous landmarks in the park. There's Hippie Hill with the drum circle, which is never that busy. It's not as busy as it usually is on a Sunday because this is the day of the Haight Street Fair.
Yeah.
So the famous Haight-Ashbury district in San Francisco has its annual street fair on this day.
It's huge.
It's just nuts, and all kinds of weirdos and crazy types. And if you're from out of town and you want a sort of uniquely San Francisco experience and a ton of people in a very dense crowd to shoot, it's a fun place to go.
Yeah, if that's your style, if you like the kind of ducks on a pond approach, there's going to be more ducks than there is water out there.
Yeah. No, there'll be stoned people, naked people, like just whatever you can imagine,
and great food.
And great food, actually.
Don't forget about that. The food carts that are out there are fucking awesome.
It's much better than the food on the Haight on a typical day.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Yes. Tremendously. No, I mean, beyond just networking, though, don't you have a couple of events going on that's more kind of shareability with your work?
Yeah, a couple of new things this year. We're doing a real zine fest, which we wanted to do in the past. We did a zine discussion panel last year, which was really informative. We had a great panel. And a nice, highly interested but small crowd for that. But this year we're doing a zine fair, which is an all-comers, sell your zines, talk to other zine creators. We're going to have that at Harvey Milk Photo Center on Saturday, June 9th from about 10 to 12. We'll probably roll over a little bit because right after that, we've got the StreetFoto Book Lab, which is a 3-hour hands-on discussion/workshop about photo book making.
Nice.
I think we're going to get a good turnout for this. Seems to be a lot of interest in it. It's going to be led by Stephen Bowman, who recently released his monograph, Almost True.
Yeah.
And that was his first book after shooting for 30 years or something like that. It's an amazing piece of art.
It's a hell of a, I don't want to call it a retrospective because that implies that he's on his way out,
he's
but he's
working.
not.
But it's great. And then we've also got Ben Molina, who's going to be leading that, who has designed some photo books, and he's designed tons of zines. He's an amazing editor of other people's work. Like if you ever like show him 10 photos and you say, help me edit this down, he'll come back with one. I mean, he's great.
Brutal.
That's how you get a good work though, right?
Yeah,
I mean, you
got to be ruthless, man.
Yeah. So these guys are going to be leading up, and probably somebody else. I wish Michelle was free because she just did a book, but she's going to be teaching the workshop that day. We'll have somebody else there with real bookmaking experience probably leading this up. It's going to be some discussions from the leaders first. They're going to probably show you some slides and talk about what they've done. And then the next 2 hours are going to be very hands-on. Bring in a stack of prints if you want help editing. And they're going to walk you through the process of like how to sequence, how to edit down, how to do themes, how to do transitions, things that all seem, they seem mysterious.
The sequencing.
Yeah. I mean, these are the dark arts of photography, like how to put all your stuff together.
So many photographers forget about how important this part is. You shoot, right. You develop, or you process, what have you. You send it out on Instagram and you move on. But the real challenge comes into bringing these photos together to create a wider story.
Right. So that's what we're trying to do with StreetFoto Book Lab. It's a new thing. It's a first, as far as I know, for festivals, and we're kind of going all in on it. And it's going to be right now. It's scheduled at Saturday, June 9th from 12 to about 3. Could go a little long. And then, after that, you can stick around. We'll have some other afternoon events, and then the main events that evening. Or you can go shoot for a while and come back and see Jeff talk at the end of the night.
And of course, the award presentation is that night. So right. All the people get to...
That's going to be that night as well. So we've got... I'm hoping we'll have quite a few finalists in town. We had a number in town last year. And it's always fun, speaking from experience, to be there, kind of sitting on pins and needles, and watching the award ceremony.
And while you're here, as an aside, Street PX will be there throughout the entire duration, either working with the photo walks or pulling people to the side to interview them along the way. And if I talk to Ken long enough here and I wear him out, I might be able to squeeze us in for a little show sometime along the way. Maybe not there at HMPC, but who knows? You never know. We might even have a little corner off to the side where we just start putting people through like a production line. My big thing is I would love to talk to some of the finalists.
That's a good idea. Yeah.
I would love to just snatch a couple finalists up and be like, hey, why the fuck did you do this?
we can try to help you arrange that, because we sort of get wind of when there are finalists there. Sometimes they surprise us and I don't even know. And there are finalists who were there last year I didn't even know had come into town. That's one thing I'll ask you. Anybody who comes into town, say hello. Let me know who you are.
Yes.
Introduce yourself. I'm probably going to be busy. I won't have time to chat much, but I just love putting, faces to names that I've heard. And especially if you're a finalist, do not pass through town without at least saying hello and letting me know you're here. And
it'll be easy enough to find him because he'll be the most stressed out looking person in the crowd.
I'll be wearing a crazy hat.
Yes. But no, it's going to be, I'm really excited. I can't wait. I love this. And it's always great because it's right in our backyard.
Yeah. Well, it's still going. Hoping to be back again next year. So
that's the go. Now, just as a reminder, everybody, it's June 4 through 10. So 7 days, Monday through Sunday, with the exception, obviously, of a workshop or event starting there a day early.
Yep. If you're coming into town, plane tickets are still cheap.
Yeah. Get them now. 54 days is always the magic number.
I didn't know that.
Yep. When it comes to flights, that's what statistically, what I've read is 54 days is kind of usually the cheapest that you can find.
Right. Word to the wise. I can't say the same for San Francisco hotels.
This is true.
So, make your arrangements in advance. There are still rooms, but things are filling up. There's a lot of rooms out there, but it's just not a cheap place to stay. So, make sure you plan accordingly, and see if you can crash with a friend. There are ways to stay in the East Bay, not at Casper's house.
No, it's too small. It is the Bay. I'm rocking 400 square feet.
But if you're on a budget, there are ways to stay reasonably. We've had people come up with all kinds of solutions.
Yeah.
And if you're not on a budget, well, we have lots of great fancy hotels as well.
And don't park your RV in front of the Joe Good Addicts.
No. There's a story behind that we won't go into.
No. Little insight. So at least 2 people are snickering out there, or pissed off at that comment. But yeah, above all, everybody, you definitely need to go check out streetphoto.org. We are going to throw a ton of these links into the show notes for this episode right there at streetpx.com. And if you have any questions, if you are curious about any of the photo walks or about how to sign up for any of the workshops, if you're having any difficulty signing up for any of this, anything you want to know, any questions, let us know. Well, not us. You can reach out to us through at StreetPX and we can get you in touch with the right person, or you can contact Ken directly at
streetphoto.org.
Well, no, email.
Ken at streetphoto.org.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Oh, I see what you did there. Oh, that took me a minute. Damn it, I fucked that up.
streetfoto.org.
Got to make sure that F is in there.
Yeah, come to the website and there's some contact links in there.
Yes. And we hope to see you there. And come say hi, please. Like Ken just said, you got to come and introduce yourself, because that's what all of this is about. It's about getting to know other street photographers, sharing information, sharing knowledge, and just hitting the streets together.
Yep, absolutely. I mean, that's one of the things that I feel best about having started this, is the communities that have kind of
I meant to ask you that. It's like, what is driving you to continue this?
Well, it just it's got a certain amount of momentum now, and I almost feel like an obligation to everyone who wants to see it happen. It is exhausting, but I mean, I watch and I've seen friendships develop, like people across the globe. I mean, like you met Ricardo, for instance. And you guys
we're doing a workshop together.
Now.
Yeah.
And you keep in touch online. And I've seen people who met at StreetFoto or met as a result of being here at the same time for this event, who are now friends who visited each other, across the world.
Yeah.
I mean, I met TC as a result of him coming here first year.
I can share that sentiment. TC was another one of those.
He showed me around Taipei and all around, his side of Taiwan when I was over there last year.
That's a good point. You get to meet people, and then when you travel later, you got a place to go.
There's connections like this that are made, many times over, and that have been made, and I've seen that as a result of this, and that's a really, really satisfying part of having put it all together.
And getting your work out there and getting it seen. This is part of it, is sharing and becoming more aware of other photographers, and them becoming more aware of you. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So no, that's a pretty damn good reason.
Yeah. All right.
Cool. All right, everybody.
Great talking to you as always.
Thank you so much, brother. And thank you all for listening. And we all hope to see you at StreetFoto this year, June 4, June 10, streetphoto.org. Thanks, Ken.
All right. Thanks.
Bye. Cheers.